Stop taking.
Hi. Greetings from the dank basement, kids. And I can call you kids because I'm really old. I'm so old I'm farting dust. Farting dust. I remember when I could get a boner. It was many years ago, but I still remember it, and fondly too. So this old guy goes into a pharmacy and he says to the pharmacist, "Do you sell Viagra?" And the pharmacist says, "Well, of course I sell Viagra." And he says, "Can I just buy one pill to try it?" And the pharmacist says, "Of course you can. You can buy one Viagra tablet. And can you cut it into 4 pieces?" And the pharmacist says, I don't think 1/4 of a Viagra tablet is going to help you get and maintain an erection." And the old guy says, "Erection hell. I just wanted to stick out far enough so I stopped peeing on my feet." Anyway, yes, I am old, but I've been drinking coffee now for well over 50 years, and I've had a lot of coffee, good coffee and horseshit coffee. I learned 3 valuable lessons in broadcasting during my years in radio. The first valuable lesson was how to urinate in 30 seconds. The second valuable lesson was how to defecate in less than 4 minutes. Stairway to Heaven was a godsend for the constipated. And the most important thing I learned was how to love shitty coffee. Well, fortunately, what I'm talking about tonight is not shitty coffee. About a couple years ago, 3 years ago, I guess, he stopped posting videos. There was a tobacco reviewer, nasal snuff, cigars, pipe tobacco pipes, who called himself Happy Smoking 100. Now, he kind of gave up tobacco. It's very expensive, and he didn't want to get in trouble with his landlord, who did not want him to smoke inside his house, and lots of other things. So he turned his attention away from tobacco and to coffee instead, and he started really studying and learning all about not only what different varieties of coffee are supposed to taste like, and trying all kinds of different coffees. He went out and got himself a very nice espresso machine and started doing espresso for himself and for his mom and his dad and other members of his family. And he discovered that he had an affinity for coffee, so he's now turned it into a business. This is a bag, a 1-pound bag of Nicaraguan coffee from Java Jake's Roastery. Jake takes the order, and then he roasts the coffee exactly the way you want it. If you need it ground up, he can grind it for you to whatever kind of grind you need. I prefer the whole beans, so that's what I ordered. Now, his coffee is also selected by hand. Jake looks very carefully at the raw beans he buys and makes sure there aren't any bad beans in the bunch, and then he custom roasts it to the order of his customers. It's a great idea. Look how beautiful this package is. This is a professional deal here. It is heat sealed. It's got the reclosable strip there, the Ziploc. But it also has something very important that coffee bags need to have, and that is the one-way air valve that will let the carbon dioxide that naturally is created by stored coffee, lets it escape without letting any of the outside air in. It also lets you squeeze the bag and smell how good the coffee is. And it's delicious. Now, I have tried to do this review now 5 or 6 times, but I am having trouble. I always stumble over something. So I've already consumed this entire mug of coffee trying to do this review, but I can talk about it. First of all, how did I make the coffee? How do I make my coffee? Well, first of all, I use what is called a Melita drip filter system. It's just a sort of funnel that sits on top of the cup. You put a conical or cone-shaped coffee filter. I like to use a number 4 filter because I like a little extra paper. Kind of guides me to the funnel for making it easier for me to pour. I put 2 rounded tablespoons of coffee into the filter, and I poured in the water at about 195 to 200 degrees. I'm not exactly sure. Wasn't boiling, that's for sure. You don't ever want to make coffee with water that is recently boiled or full on boiling. Actually, they say, I think that the ideal temperature for brewing coffee in most cases is about 192 degrees Fahrenheit. So I may have brewed this just a little bit hot. Even so, in the bag, now this is not the Nicaraguan, this is the El Salvadoran. I'm going to put this Nicaraguan coffee away. Once again, you can take a look. There's the bag. Let me hold it up so you can see the label. Java Jake's Roastery. There you go. I had the El Salvador coffee, and that's the one I'm going to talk about a little bit. First of all, in the mug that I just finished, you smell a little hint of cacao. There is something vaguely woody to the scent, but in a very pleasant way. It's very aromatic. It's a lovely coffee. But where it really shines is in the cup. This is a coffee, the El Salvadoran coffee, which I had Jake dark roast for me, which means he took the roast to what is called the second crack. No, I'm not talking about ass crack, nor am I talking about the stuff they're smoking these days in Portland and San Francisco. No, I'm talking about the way the coffee beans themselves actually physically crack as they're being roasted. So he took it to the second crack to give me a nice dark roast. And in the cup, first of all, the mouthfeel is just fantastic. It's silky, it's creamy, it's just delicious. The Salvadoran is a coffee that you don't need to add cream to. Even if you were a die-hard, I've got to have cream or milk in my coffee person, even you could drink this black. And I generally drink my coffee black, so it was really a fantastic treat. I love it. Now, is it cheap? Nope. It is not cheap. I don't think it's overpriced for gourmet coffee by any means. But this bag of Nicaraguan coffee cost me $19 for a 1 pound bag. That's a little high. And the shipping is where you'll save some money if you buy a lot of coffee, because whether it's a half a pound or 10 pounds, Jake will ship it to you for $7 US here in the continental United States. It is extremely high quality coffee that is quite expertly roasted. I'm very, very pleased with the quality of the product. How's the caffeine? Well, the way I brewed it, with the amount of coffee I put into the cone and the temperature at which I extracted the coffee into the cup, I brewed it fairly strong. And so for me, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is no caffeine and 10 is, this is like doing meth, man. I don't know what it's like doing meth. I've only done it once, years ago, by accident. Honest. No, seriously. Guy across the hall gave me a spoon of something. I thought it was cocaine, which I liked back in those days. It wasn't cocaine. It was meth. Not good. That stuff's poison. No, but getting back to what I was talking about. On a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is no caffeine and 10 is obviously way too much. For me, the way I brewed this is about a 6.5, which is why I'm not going to run and make another cup of it tonight, as it's already 8:45 Central Time, my time here. But it's worth trying, and I strongly suggest you go to Java Jake's on the squinty scale, where 1 is disgusting and 5 is coffee of the gods. This is about a 4, and I think that if I brewed this just a little bit cooler and maybe used a little less coffee, it would actually rate a 5. It's that good. It's that high a quality. And remember, I've consumed an awful lot of coffee in my life. Java Jake's Roastery. Jake out there in Northern California will be happy to sell you some. He will custom roast your coffee any way you want it to be roasted. He'll even grind it for you if that's what you need. And I will put his web address for his web shop down in the description box. From the dank basement, thank you for listening to me babble once again. I am Paul, your wicked Uncle Squinty. Enjoy your coffee.